Gotta do my quick setup here. Yeah. All right, good there. Where is it? Yep, that. Time to notify everyone. Trying to get this whole process down. I just notified the community peeps. And now I just gotta notify the Discord server. Okay. Hey guys, welcome to yet another live stream for Big Brother 27 here. Coming upon the week 2 eviction, which is all pretty exciting stuff if you ask me. And honestly, there is some stuff to talk about in the lead up to the actual vote year. So I will say that, at least on paper, it does seem like we are getting a bit more straightforward of an outcome in terms of where the actual votes are going into different scenarios. So, make it very simple, it seems like Adrian is currently the safest. That's the indication that we have gotten across these last few days. I don't believe anything has come out to suggest otherwise. But Will should be the safest of the three, and then after that, we have Adrian as the other safe person who should be staying over Amy, unless Amy ends up winning the BB blockbuster and is up on the block against Will. There are definitely pieces there to keep Adrian in even over Will in certain situations. However, we have not really seen much of a campaign to really push that forward. So my guess is if it's Adrian versus Will in the block, that Adrian will be evicted in that situation. However, Amy will be evicted against both Adrian and Will if she is still on the block here. So obviously we have some intrigue in terms of what's going to happen with the BB blockbuster. My guess is that Adrian is the favorite to win that, considering that we saw him literally come in second in the veto competition on yesterday's episode, literally like second right behind Casey. So obviously that's pretty good. Hey Will, glad you're here with us. Amy's a goner. It is looking that way. Yeah, it is sort of crazy how the vote has seemingly shifted away from Amy, where last week the talk was all about how, oh, Amy is the obvious person to take out, but we saw like the likes of Rachel, Mickey, Morgan, like really coming together, really fighting to get their way and keeping Amy over Zay. But now this week, those same people are now like pushing away. So like it is sort of funny how it's sort of turned around on Amy to where she is pretty clearly going home at this point. So unless she wins that blockbuster, so I guess if there's any Amy fans in the audience, then that's something to root for. But yeah, I'm here. But yeah, we're obviously like about 23 minutes from the start of the show. So if there's anything you guys want to talk about in the lead up to the actual episode starting, I mean, we can feel free to chat. In the meantime, I mean, I guess we can talk about some other stuff that's been happening in the house. So yeah, my power ranking did come out yesterday, and I do largely stand by it. Like I think in hindsight probably would have had Will a little bit lower. I think he should have been lower simply due to the fact that he was on the block to begin with. He's obviously on the block right now. But as I said in the video, I just feel like there's just so many people that there's so many people that are just like feel too high because of like various issues that I have with their games. Like you have Ashley, for instance, where Ashley has been talked about someone that should be included in this alliance. On the other hand, I think Ashley's a pretty bad player, and it wouldn't shock me if she like sabotages like the potential for her to be included in this alliance with Mickey and Morgan. You have Riley, who no one's really been talking about, but at the same time, it's like I feel like he's also demonstrated some questionable gameplay at points, and has also like been kicked out of the heavy hitters. Like he hasn't really been active, so there's an issue there. Again, I feel like right now it's like everything. I feel like there's a lot that's still like up in the air, and there's just a lot that I'm still not entirely sure about when it comes to certain people. And obviously, we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens in the coming weeks to see whether these people get opportunities, whether they get favorable comp outcomes. But yeah, I do think it is at least interesting in terms of seeing where the season's going right now. Who is the most likely target next week? That is an interesting question. So my gut instinct says Keanu. Like I feel like there's still a lot of people that would like to target Keanu like as an easy target. Like he's obviously someone who is very likely to touch the block next week, even if he's not being targeted. Like I think he'll at the very least be put up. But I think if we're looking at other potential targets here, I think Jimmy could be in some danger here. He's not really pictured here. I have him hidden since he can't vote this week. But I do think Jimmy could be in some danger this week, next week. I think Catherine's another person who has been talked about as a potential target here. I think there's a world where Morgan can be targeted, like if like she gets like the wrong HOH, like God forbid, like Ashley wins HOH or something, and she just like guns at their Morgan. Um, who else is there? I don't think Kelly's a likely target right now. I don't think so. Again, she's sort of in this Keanu boat where like if there's like a situation where they just want like an easy week, they could just put up Kelly there. They could say, "Oh, she's just winning competitions." So I think that's a factor here. But my guess is that I'd say Keanu and Jimmy are probably the biggest targets right now, and I think Catherine's like a good like third biggest target at the moment. But there's obviously as well like what's going to happen with the next HOH. I think a lot of it will come down to who wins this next HOH and how willing are they to like make a bigger move against like an easier target or like someone who could be perceived as a longer term target. I feel like Zach has a very good chance of winning. Yeah, I think Zach is in a pretty good spot right now. Like he's not really being targeted right now, which is pretty good. I still worry a bit that he's been a bit passive this week. I feel like he's not really pushing to get his way as much. And while I think Adrian staying would be good for him, I feel like he doesn't really like I feel like he didn't really do much to bring that about. Like where I believe there was a conversation he had yesterday that made it sound like he still thought Adrian was going. So like again, I think that's probably my biggest concern with Zach is that he's been a bit passive this week, but I do feel like right now, like he is a pretty good contender. Like the fact that he is someone who you would assume would be pretty good at like endgame comps, the fact that he has this power in his back pocket, the fact that no one's really targeting him right now. I think there's a lot of reasons to have Zach very high at this point. Do you think a man or a woman is winning BB27? It's just too soon. Like because like on one hand I think a lot of the bigger players right now are women. Like you have Mickey playing pretty hard, like Morgan's another person who's been pretty active. Ava's someone who I think is in a good position right now. But then you have Zach and Vince as well. Like I could see them like sort of skating on by for a while and then they just go on a big comp run. So I feel like it's too soon to really know whether it's gonna be a man or a woman winning. I just think it's too soon to really say for sure. But anywho, I need to update the games. Like, yeah, I should probably do that before the show starts. So I'm not doing it in the middle of everything. No, that's not it. So I should update the pool game first. And going back to last week. So now that I'm filling it in, I can see if anyone's at risk of being eliminated this week. I think most people were able to make selections. So Jimmy, Keanu, Amy, Will, Amy, Vince, Ashley, Ashley, Amy, Drala picked Keanu, Kelly. I picked Kelly this week, so feeling pretty good about it right now. I may regret it later if Kelly ends up becoming like this perpetual pawn that no one takes out. But I feel like for now, at least, it's glad I could at least pick her. A lot of people picked Amy early in the week. How many people backtracked? Amy, Kelly picked Riley. Kelly. He switched to Kelly. I placed hold Riley at first, but then I switched. That's right. Saber picked Kelly. Saber switched to Riley. Kenny picked Keanu. I'm doing that after the veto. And switched to Kelly. Steven switched to Kelly. Alright, now I switched to Kelly. Kelly. Okay, then switched to Keanu. Okay. Alright, so looks like two people picked Amy. Let me just double check to make sure they didn't switch. Val. And we've got Jay Lee. All right, so two people, well, technically, three people are at risk, but Jay should be fine for this week. Yep. Okay, so one person's out for not picking. Two people picked Amy and are at risk. And then you have one person picked Will. So that is the pool game. Let me check chat. Feel like a man's winning. Again, I could definitely see a world where like a Vince, a Zach, maybe even a Riley if he lasts long enough, like going on a big comp run towards the end. So like, again, I wouldn't put money on it right now, but it's like if that ended up happening, it wouldn't shock me. Like if it came to me from the future and said that's what happens, like, yeah, I guess that makes sense. If Amy goes home, Rachel will be in a pretty bad spot. So I feel like Rachel's already in a bad spot because it's like the thing is like there are people who want to take her very deep into the season, but like there's also a lot of people who are throwing her under the bus. Like because even if Amy stays this week, I mean Amy's like already mad at Rachel for like because like part of Amy's thing from this week is that she was blaming Rachel for the reason why she was targeted to begin with or put up to begin with at least, which isn't entirely fair, but it's like and you could say that Amy going is worse for Rachel than her staying, obviously, but I don't know. Like, I feel like considering just how much Amy threw under the bus, and I think considering just how much people are bashing Rachel just in general, it's like, I don't think it's that big of a loss at the end of the day, because, like, I feel like she's already not in a very good position. Hey Tyler, glad you could join us here tonight. All right, so then I guess we can update the poll as well. Like we got a whole bunch of poll responses here. And we still got about 12 minutes before the show starts. I don't think Rachel is going to make jury. Yeah, there's definitely a chance she could be targeted pre-jury. Like I think a lot of her fate in this game is going to come down to like HOH results and how willing people are to target her soon. But I also think there's a lot of people who want to take her to jury. Like I think Mickey and Morgan, who do have a lot of sway in the house right now, they have talked pretty openly about how they want to take Rachel to jury. I think they would see her as like a pretty good number to have there. So I think that's definitely a major consideration there. But it's also going to depend a lot on comp results. I could see Rachel being targeted pre-jury if she gets like bad results. I could see her like going to jury if she continues to get good results. So I think, again, even though it's cliche, I think a lot of her position in the game is going to come down to these comp results here. So, anywho, gotta update the game. So, how many questions did I have? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh my god, so many questions. I don't think there were as many questions this week though, so it might not be that bad. Let's see. So HOH. No one got the HOH. Jimmy, which is fair. I voted for Keanu just because it'd be funny, but I voted for Keanu again this week as well, which is again for a similar reason. Okay, who will be nominated? I think a lot of people got it. Yeah, so everyone got Keanu, like, which makes sense. I just need to see who double dipped because double dipping makes me very sad. I need to make sure the scores. Oh no, I should do this afterwards. Okay, so no, that's not right. Blueberry. Wisp is on the board. No, they're already on the board. What am I talking about? Daniel, ordinary. He is on the. No, they're no, they're. Hmm. Blue and Zerfinx. Okay. I need to. I just do it for all. Okay, so that's 17. And who double dipped? Hopefully it's not anyone. Okay. Oh, no. No. So sorry. Yeah, right now I'm just updating the polls and everything. But again, almost everyone got Keanu as a person. So who been nominated? Who and Vito? Almost everyone got this as well. This is so funny. Steven. Okay, there's that. But yeah, we are a little over 5 minutes now from the start of the show. We are still waiting. We are still waiting for the show to start, obviously. But yeah, like if you're just joining us, obviously we have a bit more of a straightforward situation tonight here where we obviously have Adrian, Amy, and Will currently on the block. Will should be the safest of the three. It seems like he would stay over both Adrian and Amy. Adrian's the second safe, where he would stay if he's up against Amy. He would go most likely if he's up against Will. There's a chance there could be a last minute switch, but I would expect Adrian to be a victim in that situation. But Adrian's also the most likely to win the BB blockbuster, so that's something to consider. And then I think Will is the safest. He would stay over both of them. Scared the season might end like BB25. Obviously, that's a bit. Obviously, that's gonna stick in the back of people's heads. Where obviously we do have a pretty dynamic start, but as the season progresses, there's definitely a shot that things could stabilize. But I think the other thing is also like you have the comps where you would think that they would shake up the comps this season as well compared to BB25, where I feel like that was a major reason why the likes of Jag and Matt were able to win so many of those comps. Um, let's see, we got blue here, Zerfinx. It's 12. And then we have Will as the replacement. The other common pick here, so let's hope no one double dipped with this one. Skyrus, good. Oh, good. Good. No. Anyway, I should also grab my phone here, so I'll just grab it right here. That should be good. Anyway, we're about 3 minutes now from the start of the show. I am watching the show on this. See the thing in the top left corner. There we go. All right, it's currently commercial. I believe Jeopardy just wrapped up. The ending wasn't bad, slow down, but yep. One thing BB wasn't so bad. Game Matt wasn't so likable. Yeah, that didn't help either. MJ was bad, but she didn't end up winning. Watching Chelsea yeah, I agree with that. Even maybe 20, Casey was solid, though again, just got overshadowed by Tyler. Yeah, I agree with that as well. Anyway, I'm still doing all this stuff over here. Oh, I need to check. Yeah. Okay, we have Kelly. We have Jay Lee. Okay. So far, is Kelly still the worst player of the season? Uh, she's pretty bad. Like, again, I think right now it's between her and Keanu. I think Keanu is making a serious case though to be the worst player of the season. Like, just seeing just how much he's just throwing away opportunities, just seeing just how inflexible he is in the game. Like, I feel like Kelly at least, like, she at least has Vince. She kind of has Adrian. And I think now, like, there is at least some promise for her, considering she has won a few comps. So, but she is pretty bad, though. Don't get me wrong. Anyway, the show is now starting. All right. Previously on Big Brother. All right, we're getting the recap right now. All right. That's all the things right now. Okay. All right. Still on the recap though. Oh, if she goes out week 3 or 4. Uh. Hmm. Yeah, I think she goes at. Like, I think it depends on how much longer Keanu lasts compared to her. Like, I think if she goes the next week, then she probably would be at the bottom. I think. Though I think Amy is also pretty bad. Like, the fact that Amy like pushed, like, ended up driving away like people who were previously willing to stick by her. So again, I feel like it's gonna be an interesting player ranking when it gets down to it. Anyway, we're getting the intro once again. It's sort of a weird like remix that they're doing of the theme. Like I'm sure it'll grow on me over time, like the theme, but it's like I don't know. I feel like there's a bit too much going on with. It's also weird that they include the thing "Who will win" when there's a person on the cast named Will. I just find that kind of jarring. Good evening. I'm Julie Chen Moonves. Welcome to Big Brother. But first, anyway, now we're getting to the main show part. We're getting to your typical like series of DRs after the veto meeting. Maybe. I don't know. Like I feel like I haven't really gotten behind Jimmy for a lot of the season. I feel like he's just trying way too hard to like make moments and stuff. Like even his like DRs, like he kind of sounds like a YouTuber, like with the way he's talking the DRs. Which, to be fair, is like some of it's because it's scripted and everything, but it's like I don't know. Like it's kind of a weird like sensation. Anyway, we're now getting a scene with Zach and Adrian over here. We have Zach talking about wanting to keep Adrian around. Maybe. All right, so now we have Morgan getting pretty mad at Jimmy for the Amy nom. Are you planning to do a preseason power ranking for AU versus the World coming up? I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to approach AU versus the World. To be honest, because it's like a lot of it's, from what I understand, like a lot of the season's spoiled already. So it's like I don't know how motivated I am to do like a preseason power ranking for it. I'll probably do like stuff during the season, like talk about like the edit and stuff. But I feel like with the fact that it's so openly spoiled and everything, that to be fair, I'm not spoiled myself, but it's like, I don't know, like, especially with it being a shorter season as well, like, I may just do like a normal like power ranking each week, sort of similar to how I treat like the traders. Though I am going to do a preseason power ranking for 50, so that's something at least. All right, so we have Amy now complaining about Rachel. All right, we have Catherine and Lauren talking. They've kind of been hyping up this duo on the show, even though they're not really in power right now. Like, I think they're hoping that they are like able to get into power later on. So I think they're trying to set it up now in case. Hear that? It's men versus women and Jimmy. Yeah, they're trying to give Lauren like a big player at it, which is funny. Mastermind at it. All right, now we're getting Vince and Kelly. Yep, once again, propping up Rachel's a big threat. Guys, we gotta recon Rachel right now. Like, guys, she's gonna turn to Dan Giesling over here. She's gonna turn to Paul from BB19. We can't let that happen. Anywho, we're going to commercial now. We're gonna get one more segment until we get to the blockbuster. Anywho, we are currently at commercial here, but yeah, interesting stuff so far. It's like, yeah, like we did see like on yesterday's episode that they were trying to give like they were trying to set up the Catherine and Lauren relationship, which has become more of a focal point, even though they're not in that active a position right now. And yeah, like also Vince and Kelly, they're trying to prop up that a lot right now as well. Mainly because like Kelly is like they know Kelly's gonna be around at least for another week. Do you think Jimmy made the wrong nons for his game? I think the way he handled it was bad. Like the fact that he like was so like unwilling to like negotiate with Mickey Morgan when they were supposed to be like one of his allies. I think that's a big mistake. Obviously, you can say he got unlucky by both Keanu and Kelly winning safety through their powers. Um, but yeah, I do think Jimmy, like on the whole, like really misplayed this HOH. Like I do think he did make the wrong noms at the end of the day. I think he would have been better off putting up like O'Reilly, for instance. Like I think O'Reilly would have been decent for him. I don't know if Ashley would have been a good nom or not. But I think again, like I'd say probably like Riley would have caused like the least amount of issues for him gameplay wise. And then maybe you could have also tossed up a Lauren with Riley as your main target. I think that probably would have been like his best case scenario by the time of the veto meeting. But I mean, yeah, like Will doesn't do much for his game, but it's like, and I do think Caddy talked more with Mickey and Morgan about it. Like he probably could have gotten away with it, but it's like I do think Amy for sure was a massive mistake for him, as Amy was someone who would be a target ahead of him, obviously, considering that she was literally like someone who could have gone home last week. I think had he talked it out more with Mickey Morgan, he could have gotten away with putting up a will. But again, like I feel like Riley, like I think he probably should have put up Riley instead. Riley too early. Ashley, she's won cons before. Again, I feel like Ashley is like I feel like had like Ashley like put her foot on her mouth more and like if it wasn't for Mickey and Morgan wanting to include her in like their new alliance, then I think putting him Ashley would have been fine, especially since she was already put up in week 1. And then with Riley, it's like, yeah, like you could say that it's too early, but it's like Riley's another person. It's like Riley doesn't help Jimmy's game either. It's like he's not really doing much right now. Like he is barely within anything. Like really, like the only thing he has like going for him is like he's loosely attached to the other guys. But it's like, who's really going to bet? I feel like no one would have really gone to bat for Riley had he like put him up or something. So it's like, and plus it's like he's another person that you could say could win comps in the future. Yeah, like yeah, like that's pretty much Jimmy. Like, yeah, you're right. Like that's what Jimmy said is his reason for not putting up Riley there. But it's like, it's so funny how actively Jimmy was playing like when he wasn't in power, but then when he got into power himself, he didn't really like live up to his words. He was like talking about like how dumb it would be for Vince to put up Kelly, but then he put up Amy without despite Amy someone he like worked to save last week. So anyway, we're currently back at the show. I believe we're just getting some more campaigning right now. We have yeah, so we're having the talks about taking out Amy here. Anywho, we're just getting some more scrambling. We have Morgan talking with Zach right now. But you're right. Like it is sort of wild, like the rationales Jimmy went with to not put up either Ashley or Riley this week. Anywho, is this? We have a combo with Ashley and Rachel. Ashley's telling Rachel that Amy's not gonna stay. Oh no. Anywho, now we're getting a combo between Ava, Zach, and Rachel here. Rachel's pretty upset about the whole Amy going home thing. Maybe. Yep, we have Rachel continuing to be upset. She's like, who do these rookies think they are, messing with Rachel Riley? Maybe they do. So, anywho, we're now going to yet another commercial break where we are about to get to the BB blockbuster, finding out who will be going off the block here. Anyway, we're currently commercial here. Afterwards, we are going to get to the BB blockbuster to determine who will be taken off the block here. Best players this season so far aren't the best position players as of right now. I mean, Morgan's in a fine spot right now. Morgan's like okay, though I think Morgan has some issues as a player. Again, Zach is a good all round player, but it's like not the best player. But I don't know. I feel like I don't feel like there's any like good players that are in like particularly bad spots at the moment. I guess you could say Lauren, but like, I feel like even Lauren's been a bit passive at the end of the day. So anyway, we're about to get back from commercial here, where we're gonna get to this blockbuster. All right, here we go. Catherine looks like Christmas. A little bit, just a little bit. Oh man, I had a big dinner and I'm just like, I feel like I have a rock in my stomach right now. Yeah, after the stream, I'm gonna have to like walk around a lot. Anywho, we're getting now to the comp here. Got it's a puzzle. How exciting! This seems like a pretty Seems like a pretty easy puzzle, I would think. Anywho, Adrian should be the favorite in this. All right, we are off to the races here. Adrian making quick work so far, having his first piece in place. Already had 2 pieces in place. Will not far behind, though. He also has 2 pieces. Amy having 1 piece herself. Adrian now having a 3rd piece in place. He is making quick work at like building the outline. Yeah, it seems like Adrian's just gonna run away with this, doesn't it? Yeah, I should. I mean, it's like Will's not far behind, but the problem is like Adrian's just a lot faster than him. So like I feel like that's just gonna be a major issue, like just like the running back and forth. But anyway, Adrian's now just grabbing the rest of his pieces and bringing them to the center here. Will is slowing down a bit here. All of them have finished the border and are now working on the interior part, which is like a fingerprint. Anywho, we have an overhead shot now. Adrian, again, like with the lead right now, this is Adrian's competition to lose. Just filling in more pieces here. Will, though, is definitely falling behind here. Amy, not even close. And it looks like Adrian's about to win this thing. Just a few pieces left for him. Neil just needs 1 more. Just a little bit of a hiccup here. And yeah, Adrian's way ahead. Though it does seem like he is struggling a bit with this last piece here. I'm guessing he's going to just have to swap out 1 piece. Yep, seems easy enough. Fits in. And there you have it. Yeah, I feel like that was largely to be expected here. If you're just joining us, Adrian has just won the BB Blockbuster. Just trying to size this appropriately. That's fine. Just checking. All right. We have Amy versus Will. Yeah, nothing too shocking here. I think a lot of people were expecting Adrian to win this here. Oh, I forgot to close the polls. Yeah, I should close them, shouldn't I? Yeah, I should update right now. Would be funny if she pulled a chemo and had an eviction speech to save her, especially after a bet. Yeah, that would be pretty funny. Oh, yeah, that reminds me. I did see a Thanimals video today about the chemo speech, the one time in Big Brother history where an eviction speech made a difference. Anywho. not right. How's there only 18? What? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, okay, okay. Now I get it. Okay. Yeah, I should give them a thing. If that works. Anywho, if you're just joining us, we just had the BB blockbuster where Adrian unsurprisingly won the competition, is now safe, and we are now up against Amy versus Will, where it should be a pretty easy decision here for a lot of people. Seems like the plan is to vote out Amy here. Do you see the South Park episode? I have not. I heard about it though. I know it was pretty topical from my understanding, but I feel like South Park is usually pretty topical. I assume Amy is blase. Uh, I think so. I think. I mean, you can make the argument that Amy should be above Zay because she did stay over him, but I also feel like that had very little to do with what Amy did, and I think also the fact that Amy was immediately put up again, despite not even being in the best interest of the HOH who did so, and also her pushing away the very people that were keeping her safe last week. I think that's all pretty bad. Anyway, we're back from commercial now. Everyone's about to find out that Adrian is safe. Anywho, looks like everyone's wearing pink tonight. I mean, that's something at least. Yeah, they need to do a better system for this. Yeah, cut to Rachel here, who seems pretty whelmed here. Cut to Zach, who's pretty happy, obviously. Zach wanted to keep Adrian safe. Makes sense. Rachel's definitely trying to hide her disappointment here. Anyway, we're getting out to the scramble. Not expecting much from this. Well, we can take a look here. We just see Amy and Rachel hugging. I think they know that this is it for them. Yeah, I feel like there's just not going to be much game talk tonight. Yeah, just a lot of focus on Amy hugging Rachel and Ashley here. We more hugging. Yeah, not much game talk to really see here. Yep, Julie's not bringing them back. Not much game talk here. It seems like this is going to be a pretty straightforward vote. All right. And we get into the speeches here. We have Amy going first. All right. Not much to speak of there. Now we have Will giving his speech. All right, not much to speak of there either. I don't think we're getting a chemo moment here. But Will's not done yet. All right. Oh yeah, not much to really say here. It looks like we are about to get a pretty straightforward eviction here. All right, Rachel up first. One of the more sympathetic people for Amy here may throw a sympathy vote onto Will. Makes sense why they would want to have her go first. Rachel's a vote for Amy, not even throwing a sympathy vote. Not even throwing a sympathy vote. Morgan up next. Should be another vote for Amy here. This may end up being unanimous. Considering Rachel voted for Amy, this may end up being unanimous. Morgan, another vote for Amy. We have Riley up next. Should be another vote for Amy here. All right, another vote for Amy here. Probably going to go to commercial after this, if I had to guess. Nope, we're getting Zach. Another vote for Amy here. He literally voted for Amy last week. All right, another vote for Amy. All right, going to commercial now. I mean, Amy did have people like, I think even by the time of the eviction, I think she at least had Rachel. I don't know. I feel like Ashley wavered by the end, but yeah, I think the fact that Rachel voted for Amy here is definitely a bad sign for the vote margin here. But yeah, we're currently commercial here. For just joining us, we are currently on the eviction vote between Amy and Will. Currently 4-0 for Amy, and fortunately for all the Amy heads out there, I don't think there's gonna be any votes for Amy to stay with the way things are going right now. I don't know why Jimmy didn't put up Riley, because it's too early. Don't you get it? Don't you get it? It's too early to put up Riley. That's why he didn't go up. You see, Big Brother is it's a marathon. It's a sprint. Don't you get? It's a marathon, not a sprint. Don't you see? You gotta think. Gotta think like easy targets. That's how you win Big Brother, by putting up easy targets. Yeah, we are still at commercial here. They're probably gonna go on a long commercial break here, because all they have left is the votes. Actually, no, they're probably gonna leave like a minute to talk about like the BB Unlocked, which I may watch, maybe I won't. I mean, it'll be interesting to see Taylor and Derek see how they do. Do you think production likes Chelsea? I think they're fine with Chelsea. Like, I don't think they're in love with her. Haven't talked about her being a BB legend yet. Yeah, that's definitely an issue there. She was literally compared to Derek. Yeah. Still a commercial, which is lovely. I should definitely prepare myself for the games here. Anyone draft? I don't think anyone drafted Amy. I can literally just copy paste. Good. All right, we're back from commercial now. Getting more votes here coming your way. Okay. Do you think it's still optimal for Mickey to vote out Amy? I mean, it's obviously not the right move to vote out Amy, but it's like, I mean, at this point, there's not much you can really do. I mean, we have Ashley. All right, Ashley's vote for Amy, not too shocking. But yeah, I think if we are just talking about the move on paper, it's like, yeah, it's like Mickey voting out Amy here is definitely questionable. I think because I feel like Adrian's someone who she doesn't have like the biggest relationship with. And it seems like her voting out Amy is more so due to like Amy sucking. But obviously, it would be ideal for her to keep Amy if she could. Anyway, Mickey herself, speaking of the devil, just voted for Amy here. We have 6 votes for Amy here. One more will do it. We have Kelly. Should be another vote for Amy here. Mm-hmm. Thank you. All right, we have Lauren next. Lauren's a vote for Amy. We have Adrian. Should be a vote for Amy. There you go. Vote for Amy. Ava is up next. Wondering, should I go above or should I go right here along the line? All right. I'll just shift it over. We have Vince up next. Yeah, Vince just slipped up a little bit, saying hi, Vince. All right, vote for Amy. This is the first unanimous vote with the AI Arena. Is it? I mean, you know, if Keanu's last vote should be a vote for Amy here. Oh yeah, because even with the Kenny eviction, yeah, Quinn got a vote from Tucker. But yeah, it is. Yeah, during the pre-jury, yeah. But yeah, we have a unanimous vote here for Amy here. Julie's now announcing the results. Anyway, and it's time for me to update the games. All right. Julie just made the announcement. Time to notify the pool peeps. All right, we have a big emotional farewell from Rachel here. All right, lot of emotions here. Okay, updated those. Now I just need to update the polls. Will be evicted. A pretty decisive vote here. Val. All right, getting right into the interview here. Yeah, she's continuing to blame the her boot on Rachel. We're getting some goodbye messages. No one picked unanimous. That's interesting. Anyway, makes my job easier. Yeah, she's like talking a lot during this. We have the mastermind giving a goodbye message. Okay. All right. Again, not too much to say about the eggs interview. Not too much there. Yeah, they're just cutting straight to the unlocked show. In the feeds, Amy's relationship with Ashley is what caused her game to sink. Yeah, that was definitely. I feel like they definitely like downplayed that aspect to it, like the Ashley of it all. But I don't know. But yeah, like I would say that, like in general, it's like again, like Amy going up as a pawn. Like I feel like a lot of HOHs would have resulted in that simply because like she is someone who people saw as like this easy person to throw up. But yeah, like I think beyond that, it's like again, like she was sort of seen as like a bad number. Like yeah, the likes of Mickey and Morgan, they saw her as someone who wasn't really helping her game. I mean, Amy herself didn't play this week particularly well here. And yeah, I do think that's an understated aspect of Amy's game as well. The fact that she was connected to Ashley, who was his like sort of on the outs. So I feel like that's another aspect to it. But obviously, a lot of the talk is going to be about how oh she was taken up because of Rachel, which again some reason to believe that, but I don't think it's a whole story. Oh yeah, I mean, not too much left in the episode. I mean, we're a commercial break right now. After we get back, we are going to get a little preview of the Unlock show that's going to be coming out tomorrow. Again, I'll probably watch it. Probably not gonna talk much about it on the actual channel for the most part. I mean, you know, I feel like there isn't really much to say beyond. I feel like it's more so gonna be like how like Derek and Taylor come off on it more so than like obviously like learning about what's happening in the house, but you know. But if you're just joining us, Amy was voted out unanimously here in a 13-0 vote here. But I do think there is some interesting stuff that could happen next week. As I said earlier, I think there's obviously some like easy like people to put up next week. Like I feel like in a lot of cases, Keanu and Kelly will probably go up again. Again, like maybe as targets, maybe as pawns, depending on who exactly the HOH is. I do think it was best for Lauren and Catherine to game. Yeah, yeah, I think it makes sense. I think for Lauren, it make definitely for Lauren and Catherine, it makes a lot of sense. Because like if they are gonna be running out with Jimmy, which honestly they kind of aren't. Like I feel like that's trio's already collapsing. But we are back from commercial. Actually, we're getting to this unlocked. That's good. Nicole Franzel. Possibly. All right. So that's pretty much the episode here. But yeah, again, largely to be expected here. I mean, pretty straightforward outcome for the most part here. Hopefully next week is a bit better. I mean, it does look interesting, the unlocked show. I mean, I'll probably watch it, but obviously I'm not gonna really cover it on the actual channel. But um, but yeah, like I said, I mean, I do think like, I think in terms of like who I want to win HOH, I answered Keanu in the poll. It's simply because like I think Keanu would be at least seemingly a fun HOH, but who knows there. Um, I do think a Mickey HOH would be fine. No, actually, I think Morgan HOH might be more interesting. I think Lore, obviously, a Catherine HOH would be interesting. Obviously, Catherine's not in the greatest spot right now, so I think her winning power would be interesting. And then you have an Adrian HOH. I think that would be another opportunity for him to shift things around. Um, Ashley HOH would be kind of funny, seeing what you would do with like her reads in the house. Rachel HOH, okay, I guess. Will HOH, Riley HOH, Zach HOH would be interesting. Actually, probably be boring, but like, I think it would at least like solidify a power structure a bit more. At least I would think. Riley HOH would be interesting. I don't know. Like, I think Riley. I feel like he wouldn't do much with it. I mean, it'd be interesting to see like some of his interactions and like him actually being having forcing him to like having more game conversations, but I don't think it would lead to like an interesting outcome. Let's see. Ava HOH. I mean, it'd be good. I mean, I think Ava like definitely needs like something to kickstart her game, but like I don't know if she would utilize an HOH the best. Kelly HOH will be Kelly HOH will be fun. Simply just see her like acting like she's like the queen of the house, basically. So I think there could be some interesting results this week. Obviously, we'll see what happens with the actual comp here. Who do you think is HOH? They would not put up Keanu and or Kelly. Well, so I think Vince would at least keep Kelly off this time. I think Adrian. Well, I think Adrian's probably. I don't know. Would Adrian like keep Keanu and Kelly off? Like, I feel like he's probably like one of the less likely people to do that. Uh, I think. Yeah, I think Adrian's probably the least likely to put up Keanu and Kelly. Like, that's my personal guess. Oh, that's right. He said he did say he would put up Keanu at least, but definitely will leave Kelly off. But yeah, oh yeah. Now I forgot about that, but yeah. Let's see. Would Zach put up Keanu? I think he might. Let's see. So Vince probably would. Mickey would. Ashley might. Rachel definitely would. Morgan would. Would Riley put up Keanu? That is a question. I think he'd be talked into it. Yeah, I do think those be. I think for Adrian's game that would be pretty bad. Like I think if for Adrian, like you're definitely like better off like trying to like. I think you're better off trying to like get included into like one of these power structures. I do see his argument for like wanting to like align with copies and stuff like that, but I think yeah, I do think those would be pretty questionable noms there. I think Zach could be the next Leah. Uh, yeah, I think we'll have to see what's. I think we'll have to see him in power to see like how actively he'll play once he's in power. Let's risk Kiana going home over Jimmy or Morgan. Yeah, that's the thing. Like you'd be upsetting like Morgan, who already has shown herself to be someone who I feel like if you cross her, then she's likely to retaliate. And I feel like yeah, the risk of Kiana going out is like pretty high. Like, and I think Adrian's one of the people that benefits more from Keanu staying in the house because obviously Keanu will be a target ahead of him, and I think Adrian is someone who is probably more amenable to working with Keanu than most other people. So I think that's a good point there. Any other comments about the upcoming week? But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I have for now. Obviously, we'll be back again next week. For the next live eviction, we'll have another whole week of gameplay to get into. Obviously, another power ranking, and obviously, if you haven't already, join the Discord server. I mean, we talk about what's happening on the season all the time. Who do you think is in a Chelsea position right now? Probably okay, I'd say Mickey or Zach are probably in the Chelsea position right now. I think Ava's also in a, I think Ava's also in a goodish spot. Yeah, I'd say probably those three are probably in the Chelsea position at the moment. Any other questions at this time? But yeah, I mean, thank you all again for joining us here. It was another pretty fun stream. Obviously, I'll be back again next week. See ya.